class. All right, so today is Thursday. I do need to record this session. Thank you, babe. We're going to do the warm-up. We're going to continue the notes in the interactive notebook. We are a little bit behind my other class, so our video is going to be a little different. Okay, the video from yesterday is a little different from what we did in class because we are slightly behind. Okay, and it's just because we have less time than they do. All right. We're going to go ahead and work on Thursday's warm-up. And yes, we did cross out Friday. We always cross out Friday. All right, so everyone should have a calculator at this point. Please make sure that you clear it. I'm going to show you once again how to clear your calculator because that's super important. When you cut your calculator on, you press the second button, plus 712. Second plus 712. All right. Okay, so first things first, with this equation here, the first thing that we're going to do is distributive property. But before we do that, we can go ahead and combine these together because they are like terms. So in the calculator, let's type this in. 3 minus the fraction 5 over 2 over 5. How do you type that in, Ms. Reyes? Type in 3 minus parentheses, and we have the fraction 2 over 5. So that's 2 divided by 5. Just like that is how you type it in. We're going to press enter. We're going to get a decimal. That's 2.6. Okay. So we're going to put here, this is 2.6. Bring everything else down. Okay. Now we can perform distributive property. Okay. So we're going to multiply the number that's on the outside of the parentheses times both the numbers in the parentheses. So that's going to be 2.6 times both numbers in the parentheses. This is distributive property. We have our calculator, so that's going to make this easy. We're going to type in 2.6 times 2.5. So this is 2.6 times 2.5. And what does that give us? 6.5. So this is going to be 6.5F. Okay. Now we're going to multiply 2.6 times 1.5 or negative 1.5. So that's 2.6 times negative 1.5. And that's going to be a negative 3.9. So that's minus 3.9. Bring everything else down. So what we did was distributive property first. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I told you to keep up with that. Okay. That's what I said. Keep up with it. I told yeah. All right, let's keep going. Now we're going to move the F's to the same side. We're going to move the number that's automatically in front of this F is 1. It's smaller than this number. So in order to move a negative 1F to the other side, we're going to add 1F to move it to the other side. When we add 1F to 6.5F, we get 7.5F. Bring down the minus 3.9, the equal sign. This is gone. F minus F is 0, and we're left with the 4. Again, we're solving for F, so we've got to work on the side that has F on it. We're going to get rid of this 3.9 first. This is a minus 3.9, so in order to move it, we add 3.9. All right, so this is 0. And on this side of the equal sign, we're left with 7.5f. Excuse me, y'all. When we add 4 plus 3.9, that gives us 7.9. Now we're going to divide both sides by this 7.5. This is 7.5, so that we can get f by itself. So divide both sides by 7.5. 7.5 divided by 7.5 is 1. So this is 1f. So it's just f on this side. And we need to type this in our calculator. 7.9 divided by 7.5. 7.9 divided by 7.5. That gives us this number. We're going to round it off to the nearest hundredths place, 2 spaces behind the decimal. So that's 1.05. Raise your hand if you're still working on the first problem, and I'll wait, and then we'll start the second one. Okay. All right, so let's look at the second one. Okay, we're going to write a linear equation for this table, okay, that forms a straight line if we graph it. So remember, when you're writing a linear equation, you're writing it in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Remember, we did 3 steps. The 3 steps for writing a linear equation. Does anybody remember the very first step? Step 1. Does anybody remember? Okay. The first step is to find the slope. Find m. So we're going to find m first. Let's pick 2 easy points from the table.
0 and 0.
0, 0 is an easy one.
And 1.
And 1 and 1 is easy. It doesn't matter which 2 points you choose. If I were you, I'd choose the easiest numbers. The points that have the easiest numbers. So you need 2 points. That's all you need. If they give you 50, just choose 2 out of the 50. That's all you need. Label the points that you choose. What do I label 0 as? Anybody remember? X1. What's this? Y1. And what's this? Uh-huh. And Y2. What formula do I use to calculate the slope? What formula do I use to find the slope? Remember, there's 2 formulas. Y equals it. Rise over run is one of the slope formulas, but we can't use that for this one.
Y2 minus Y1 and X2 minus X1.
Very good. Excellent job, Kiera. Yes. All right. What are we going to put on the top? If it's Y2 minus Y1, what do we put on the top? Which one's Y2? 1. So we got 1 minus what number? 0. Great job. What are we going to put on the bottom? The same thing. 1 minus 0. Good job. All right. So on the top, what does that give us? What was you going to say, baby? Oh, okay. Gotcha. So what do we get on the top? What's 1 minus 0? 1. What do we get on the bottom? 1. So 1 divided by 1 gives us what for m? Just 1. So m is equal to 1. Okay, so we found m. Now we have to find b. Very good, Dylan. So let's find, the second thing we need to do is find b. Very good, y-intercept. Y-intercept. Okay, so what do we use to find b? Anybody remember? We did this yesterday. We use y equals mx plus b. We use the slope-intercept form. Yes, baby. When he comes back. All right. Which ordered pair do you want to use that's the easiest? Which one of those ordered pairs do you want to use? Which one do you feel like is easiest? I think the zeros are easy too. So that's what we're going to use for x and y. Just pick one point, okay? It doesn't matter which one you choose. Just choose one of them, okay? You could choose one. You're going to get the same answer. What do we plug in for y? 0. What do we plug in for m? 1. This is times here. What do we plug in for x? 0. And bring down plus b. Thank you. You're fine. So this gives me 0 is equal to, what's 1 times 0? 0. And 0 plus b, of course, is just b. So b is equal to 0. And you would have gotten that no matter which one of those points you choose, that's what your answer would have been anyway. How do I now take my m and my b and write the linear equation in slope-intercept form? What do I write it as? How do I do that? Simple. Y, you got y. That's right. Y is equal to 1x plus 0. That's perfect. Okay? Do you have to write 0, Miss Reyes? No, you don't. Do you have to write the 1? You don't have to do that either. You could have written it as, because it's automatically a 1 here, okay? You could write it as this. You don't have to write the 0 because it's 0. But this is perfect. Great job. Okay, take out your interactive notebook, please. I'm going to pause for the calls, give you a chance to catch up. Okay, so we're finishing the notes that are on 17. The last example that we did, let me recap real quick, Lee, was example 2, where we're writing linear equations when you're given the slope and the point. We did example A under that, B, C, D, and F. So now we're moving on to example 3. This is the last example for these set of notes, okay? Example 3. This is where we're going to write linear equation. I'm going to write linear equations. This time you're given 2 points. So you're not given M or B. So you're going to write a linear equation given 2 points. All right. So in these examples, we're not given M and we're not given B. So you've got to find both. In these examples, you're going to have to find both M and B. Okay? Do you know? Okay. All right.
I wasn't here.
Well, you wasn't here yesterday. Just start from here, okay? Start from here. All right, so we have A. So you'll start example 3, okay? And you're going to number this page 17. Okay, so the first example, the first point is 1, 5. And the second point is 3, 13. This is all you're given, and you are told to write a linear equation from this. So you're going to use the same 3 steps that we've been using in the other examples. You're going to find the slope, you're going to find the y-intercept, and you're going to substitute those points into the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Okay? First step, let's find m. So please write this down. Find m. The formula that we use to find m, does anybody remember? The formula that we're going to use to find m. Yes, baby.
Is it y2 y1 over x2?
Excellent, babe. Excellent job. Leave it crack. Who was after Eden? Somebody. You'll be after her, no way. All right, so we're gonna label x1, y1, x2, y2. Zoe, you okay? Okay. What numbers are we gonna put on? What numbers are we gonna put on the top? What minus what? Anybody know? Which one of those numbers is y2? Go ahead, baby.
3 minus 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
13. That's a 13. Yes, sir. So we have 13 minus 5. On the bottom, what are we going to put on the bottom? We got x2 minus x1.
3.
3.
Minus 1.
Very good. Okay. All right, so that's going to give me, we got m is equal to, what's 13 minus 5? Come on, count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Shh, cut it out, boy. What is 3 minus 1? 2. So when we simplify 8 divided by 2, what does that give us for m? 4. So m is equal to 4. So we did the first step. Find m. Kira, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Second step. Does anybody remember what the second step is? Find b. Very good, babe. So let's write find b. All right. What do we use to find b?
Y equals mx plus b.
Y equals mx plus b. We got to pick one of the points. Which point do you feel like is going to be the easiest to plug in? The first point or the second point? I think the first one too. So I'm going to box that in. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use those values for x and y. All right, so what am I going to substitute for y? Come on, y'all. What did we just say? 5. We're using this point. Bring down the equal. It doesn't matter which point. Just choose the one you feel like is going to be easiest. You're going to get the same answer no matter which one you choose, okay? What are we going to plug in for m? 4 times what? 1. Good job. Bring down the plus b. What do we do to solve for m? What do we have to do first? Anybody remember?
For m?
Mm-hmm. What?
Y2.
No, what do we do to solve for b here? I'm sorry. How do we? We already wrote that. Y equals mx plus b. We substituted, so now what do? Multiply. Very good. So this is 5 is equal to, when we multiply, what does this give us? 4. Then we have plus b. Okay, so how now do we get b by itself? Subtract what number? Subtract 4. Good job, babe. Okay. Who's next after Go ahead, babe. You'll be after no way. Yes, thank you. No problem. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so 5 minus 4 gives us 1. Yes, baby. Yes, honey, if we have time, because we're limited on time, okay? All right, so we have M and B. How do we use that information that we just found, M and B, to write the equation for this problem? Y equals 4x, she said, plus 1. Great job. All you're doing is taking the M and B that you found and plugging it into the slope-intercept form. Same steps that we've been using all week, okay? So are you sure you're okay?
Miss Fred, you may already said this, but
No, it's okay.
when you're substituting the x and the y, do you always pick the first one, or could you do the second x and the second y?
You can use either one.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You can. That's what's okay. You can use either point. You're still gonna get the same answer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Raise your hand if you're still writing. Okay. I'm gonna pause it. Give you some time. Let's do example B. In this example, the 2 points, move my cursor out the way. We have 3, comma, negative 3, and 5, comma, negative 7. Again, they do not give you the slope. They don't give you M. And they do not give you the y-intercept or B. They don't give you M or B. So you've got to find both. This is negative 7 on the end, babe. So the first step, again, is going to be what? To find what? Find M. Good job. The formula for finding M is equal to what? What's the formula? Y2. Very good, sweetheart. We got to know that by heart. We're going to keep writing it. Please write it. Don't skip that step because you won't remember it if you don't keep writing it. Now let's substitute. Okay, let's label the points. What do we label this first 3 as? X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Very good. Now we're going to substitute those numbers into the formula. Okay. What are we going to put on the top? What goes on the top? What minus what? Negative 7. Good job. Minus negative 3. Great job, baby. You okay? What do we put on the bottom? Other way around. 5 minus 3. Good job. You have your calculator. If you've forgotten what your integers are, we do need to practice adding and subtracting integers. Here, what are we going to get? Negative 7 minus a negative 3. What does that give you? Negative 4. Very good. On the bottom, what does that give you? 2. Let's reduce that, okay, or simplify. What's negative 4 divided by 2? What kind of 2? Negative 2. So your slope for this problem is negative 2. Good. What's the second step? After you find M, now you got to find what? You got to find B now. Okay, so we have M. I'm going to write that up here. M is equal to negative 2. Now we have to figure out what B is. Okay, so let's find B. What do we use to find B? We use y equals mx plus b. Which one of those points is going to be the easier point to use? Which point is the easiest point to use? The first point or the second point? The first point. Okay, it does not matter which point you use, okay? You can use the second one if you like. You're still going to get the same answer. Okay? All right, what are we going to plug in then since we chose this first point? What are we going to plug in for y? Negative 3. Bring down the equal. What are we going to plug in for m? Negative 2 for m. And then what do we plug in for x? 3. Bring down the plus b. Bring that down. All we did was substitute the information that's given into the slope-intercept form so that we can find a value for b. All right, so this gives us negative 3. Bring down the equal. We're going to multiply just like we did in the previous problem. What's negative 2 times a positive 3? Negative 6. Good job. Now what are we going to do to get b by itself? How do we get b by itself? So we get b is equal to a number. What do we have to do? This is add what? Add 6. Good job, babe. Okay. What is negative 3 plus 6? Lauren, write please, because you're not. You're twiddling your thumbs. Very good. Positive 3. This is gone, and we're left with b. Okay. So now we have a value for m, right? And a value for b. How do we write this as an equation? Very good. Y is equal to, you plug in the value for m, that's negative 2, x plus 3. This is our answer. This is our linear equation. If we were to graph this, it would form a straight line. Come on, Edwin, don't give up, baby. All right, I'm going to pause to give you all a chance to write. Guys, if you get a little behind, don't forget, you can go back and watch this video on Canvas, okay? Let's look at C. In this example, you have negative 4 and 21. Then you have 1, positive 1, and negative 4.
I just watch and do the notes later.
No, because you're not going to do it. All right, first things first, we have to find what? What's the first step? Find m. So we're using the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We're going to label the points. We label this first. This is our x1, y1. That's the first point. The second point, x2, y2. We're going to take these numbers and plug them into the formula. What are we going to put on the top? Y2 minus y1. What minus what?
Negative 4
Negative 4
minus
minus 21. Very good. What are we going to put on the bottom? We have x2 minus x1. So it's what minus what? Very good. 1 minus negative 4. Type it in your calculator. You have negative 4 minus 21. You have negative 4 minus 21. Negative 25. On the bottom, type it in. 1 minus a negative 4. What's that? 5. Bless your heart. Reduce that. Let's simplify. What's negative 25 divided by 5? 5. Negative 5. What's the second step?
Find B.
Find B. Find B. Good job, y'all. You already have a value for M. Now we need to find B. What do we use to find B? Y equals mx plus B. Now we can choose either point. Remember, it doesn't matter which point you choose. You're going to get the same answer if you do the math correctly. Which point do you feel like is going to be the easiest point? Yes. Which point do you feel like is going to be the easiest point to use? Go ahead, honey. Go ahead. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. The second one. Leave the door open. All right. What number are we going to put in the place of y? Negative 4. Good job. Bring down the equal. What number are we going to put in the place of m? Negative 5. Leave it open. Leave it open. Leave it open. What number are we going to put in the place of x? 1. Then we have plus b. All right. So now what do? We have negative 4 here. It's equal to, let's multiply this together. What do we get when we multiply this? Negative 5. Bring down the plus b. How now do we solve for b? Add. What do we add on both sides? 5. When we add 5 to both sides, that's negative 4 plus 5. What's negative 4 plus 5? Positive 1. This is 0, so we're left with this positive b. So b is equal to 1. How then do we write this as a linear equation? Very good, sweetheart. Any questions about that? You want me to pull it up? Let me move this cursor out the way too. Is that better, babe? Okay. Let me pause for the calls. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to do this in the calculator, and then you're going to put your calculator back. We're going to do C in the calculator so we can check this problem to make sure that we did it right, okay? All right, so turn your calculator on, clear it. Second plus 7, 1, 2.
How do you clear your macaroni?
Second plus 7, 1, 2.
What? Just tell me 714.
Okay. All right. Go to stat. Stat is right here. Press enter on edit. You're going to type your x value here, your x values here, and your y values here. So my x value is negative 4. So use the negative sign in 4. And my second x value is 1. So press enter and then put 1 there. Enter. So that's what you should have in that first column. Under L1, that's your x's. Go to stat. All right, but go over and press. Which one did I? 21, and then -4. Now press stat. Go over to calc. Press the arrow over button. And then you see right here where it says lean reg. Go down and press enter. And then press enter one more time. And this is the equation. The A in the calculator is the slope, and the B is the y-intercept. All right? Row 1, put your calculator back. 1 and 2. Let's do that. And then y'all. Come on, row 1 and 2. Let's go. How do you have any?
Yeah, I think it's starting at the end of the day. Before I get a tryout. Yep.
All right, don't worry about it. Put your calculator up. Row 3 and 4, let's go. Go ahead, baby. Put your calculator up, my baby. Put your calculator up and let's go. Oh, yeah. Put your calculator up and let's go. Let's go. Have a good day. Have a good day, sweetheart.
I'm trying. I'm just kidding.
Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day, baby. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day.
I'll give it to you, Mr. Harris, okay?
And we are writing notes.
Oh. No.
Cool.
Row 1, go ahead, put your calculator, please.
So I'll just say it.
Row 2, take your calculator, please.
You like my DIY freckles? Yeah.
Row 3 and 4, 4 and 5, I'm sorry. Come get this paperboard.
Don't get it, Sid. No.
It's right there under her foot.
Bend down with your left arm and grab it.
You ain't got but one arm.
It's on your
knee.
And trash.
Ready for this? Siri, Siri. Alley up here. Oh.
Hey, you messed up. He can't catch a feeling.
Ready from Berlin? Miss Red, you should show them how it's done.
All right, here we go. Take out your packet, please. Okay. Thank you. All right, take out your packet, please.